Welcome to the official Lakes International Comic Art Festival podcast. My name's Ian.
And my name's Nikki, bringing you the best in comics and graphic novels and updates from the festival.
Hello and welcome to episode 14 of the Comic Art Festival podcast. My name's Ian.
And I'm Nikki.
And I'm trying not to say it wrong.
Take two.
We've just been singing. It may be added in before we talk.
No.
Oh, yes.
No, don't do that.
Enjoy it.
Is that for our performance on Sunday?
Yes. We'll talk about that
After.
So today's episode is a pre-festival talk.
Woo woo!
We have on the show ourselves.
Not me and you. Christopher.
Pete and Mike.
Oh, the gang was back together.
So it's not quite a standard interview. It is just us.
Which one's going to be
rambling.
Thelma? I always think that out of all of us, who would be Thelma?
From Thelma and Louise?
No, from Scooby-Doo, because the gang's back together.
I'll be Thelma.
You'll be Thelma. You've got the glasses for it, but then so have I.
True.
And then Chris has got his fake glasses.
He's just fake. Scooby-Doo. He's a bad guy. You'll mask him with his fake glasses.
He could be Scrappy-Doo.
If you come to the festival, you'll see cake. I was about to say cake. Chris.
Do you need cake?
Yes, Chris wandering around the
Literally just wandering.
clock tower.
Yes.
Go and see him. There's a massive board outside the clock tower.
Yeah, it is. It is huge.
You can't miss it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see a building with scaffolding, you're like, don't know where to go.
It's got a huge... Yeah, that one.
You can't miss it. It's huge. So we are just going to talk festival stuff this episode, bar a few reviews, essentially. So
yes.
Yeah, it's exciting.
It is very exciting.
Because as we're recording, it's less than a week away.
I know.
As you're listening, it'll be a day away.
Oh!
Unless you download it afterwards, in which case it's not a day away. You're really confused. Yeah.
Oh, don't try and make my brain melt.
Before we get into the reviews of some comic books, we been around the Kendal town the other day.
We have.
On a windows trail.
We did.
Because majority of the windows in the shops are all up now by various artists and schools and people.
Community groups, really.
Community groups, yeah. They're really good, weren't they?
They're lovely.
We got a couple of hours wandering.
We did. We had to stop for churros.
We had to stop for lunch.
Oh, churros.
What's the place called?
La Comida.
La Comida, in between the Brewery Arts Centre and the town hall.
Yeah.
There's a little cafe place.
Oh, yeah.
Go and try out for midday snack.
Yeah. Or just churros any time of the day, I think.
If you're passing.
I'm going again.
I want one of them. Throw it in my mouth.
I'm going again tomorrow.
Nice coffee as well.
I don't care about the coffee.
Also, I've seen that they're doing a Yorkshire pudding burrito style thing in the marketplace in Kendal.
Are they?
On Saturday, Sunday. Well, Saturday it'll be.
They're doing a Yorkshire pudding burrito?
Thing, yeah.
My God. I am so glad I moved north.
It's the healthiest place in the world. No.
The life expectancy of us is low now.
So, yeah, when you're looking for food, if you're up this way, that's where to go.
That is the two places just to go now. You have your burrito, and then you go along down for your deep fat fried churros and chocolate.
That chocolate was gorgeous.
That was.
But no, the windows looks really cool. Well worth going and make the effort to go and see all of them as well as best you can. Yes. If you've got time.
Because, I mean, we didn't see all of them. Like you say, it did take us a couple of hours.
Yeah,
and we didn't see all of them.
Well, not all of them are up, are they?
No.
The festival's also released a app.
Yes.
For Android and
iOS.
I was about to get there.
You weren't.
I wasn't. I just saw my phone Windows and I laughed. It's like, no, I didn't release Windows. That's what I've got to talk about, the Windows. Didn't release it for Windows. Jesus.
I'm just going to take my desktop round with me.
So the app has multiple things. It's got, obviously, the main events on the front page. Mm-hmm. Then you've got a map showing you where the main points within the festival are.
Yes.
You've also got what's on, so the website access essentially to see.
Yes, and also the timetable. If you go to more on there and get the timetable on that is a non-needing Wi-Fi one. So you don't need... So if you haven't got reception, that just is there.
You can also, by going to certain locations, download art.
Yes, you get little rewards.
Yeah, I think there's 8 different locations to go to. You have a Bluetooth go up and you'll get art rewards. Mm-hmm. And the most important bit of the app.
Yeah, go on. Because, I mean, you didn't fluff that up
No,
at
I
all.
didn't, did I? The podcast is linked on there.
Oh, us, our beautiful selves.
Yeah, so you can, listen to us on there, sort of thing.
Who wouldn't?
Because it's amazing.
You would want to listen to us all the time.
I'd want to listen to me all the time, yes.
I have to listen to you all the time.
You love it. Right, we've got 3 books to review today.
We have.
The first one There's the Corbyn Comic book, which has been recently brought out, which we talked about a while back.
Yes, because you could submit drawings, couldn't you, to
That's
see
right.
if you could get into it.
Self-Made Hero have just opened it up essentially to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And what a cast of characters who've drawn for this book.
Go on. Tell me, Ian.
I am not reading them all. Hannah Berry's there. Got to say that. But I'm not going to read all the names. It's just too many.
Well, I just thought maybe you'd pick a few.
Okay, I will
Like
randomly
pick a mix of names.
Peter Moray, Henry Miller, Jake, Dix, Steve Bell.
You've chosen the really simple
Harry
names to
Francis,
pronounce, haven't you?
Tom Blackford, Kate Evans, Holly Heath. I was about to say Hate Evans because it looks like a H, not a K. And Jonesy. So there's loads more.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, it's a positive Corbyn book. It's all positive about Mr. Jeremy Corbyn. The idea was that they released it and it was given at the Labour Party
conference.
past few weeks, wasn't it?
It also, I think it does take a good swipe at the media, though.
There's definitely some. I mean, Hannah Berry's jumps out because it certainly fits with livestock.
Oh, yeah.
In a way. And I'm just going to sort of go through the basics of this. Is him doing certain things and the media jumping out and twisting it. But when he does something really positive within the Houses of Parliament, it's just ignored.
Yep.
It's just so right.
It is on,
and that's not just
on
for him.
so
That's with,
much
that's
with
the
all
whole politics, isn't it?
Well, all media, full stop, all news, and how it's portrayed to us.
We're having issues in Kendal at the minute with the media representing the few loud naysayers.
Yeah, but that's all. It's always been that way, hasn't it? But it's being aware that things are that way.
But if you want to put us in the newspaper, we'll be. we'll go in.
Wow, you've just totally unvalidated yourself there. You just sold out.
So I think the maximum page is 4 for the comics.
I think so.
Some are single pages.
Yeah, some are single pictures.
Some are single pictures. Some are up to maximum 4 pages, and they're just little stories or little shorts or.
I didn't read it cover to cover, as in I didn't sit down. I picked it up and delved in.
Yeah.
And read it over a few days that way.
Yeah.
Which I think
so many.
Yeah, it was the ideal comic book to do that with.
One of my favourites, Lethal Corbin 3, because it has Theresa May as a Terminator, and that is just amazing.
But again, at the end, the media twists it.
Yeah, it's all about, and that's you can knock politicians, but it's a media that destroys.
Well, it depends who's paying for what. It's all, isn't it? It's all what's behind the scenes that you don't see.
Yeah, I'd like to see one of these done on the opposite side, on a conservative one. I'd be intrigued to see how they compare.
It would be interesting if there's one done for all.
Different opinions of the artist and the creators.
Because there will be conservative artists out there, because it's it's life.
And that'd be quite funny.
it
Self-Made
would
Hero.
Be interesting. Yes,
There's
now
your
do it
next
for the other one.
Not that you have to. You're not the BBC, but go and do it. The other book, Daryl Cunningham.
Yes.
His new book, which he talks about when we interviewed him.
Yes.
Graphic Science, 7 Journeys of Discovery.
Well,
I'll let you read the blurb on the back.
Much is known about Darwin, Newton and Einstein. But what about those lesser-known scientists that have contributed greatly to human knowledge? Celebrated cartoonist Daryl Cunningham draws compelling portraits of 7 scientists. Hang on, I shall tell you who they are. No, I won't, because I can't pronounce that.
Go on, you can read it.
Antoine Lavoisier, Mary Anning, who I love. I love the story of Mary Anning. She's so interesting. George Washington Carver, Alfred Wegener, Nikola Tesla, Jocelyn Bell Burnell, and Fred Hoyle. But no, I love, because I'd read a book about Mary Anning a long time ago. She is the one who, that found the fossils, basically, on the Jurassic Coast down south. It's just gone from my mind. Where? I've been there. I lived round the corner from there.
You're really...
I'm selling it now, aren't I?
Let's see if she actually...
No, it will be in there.
Yeah.
But anyway, so, yes, her
Lyme
whole
Regis.
life... Lyme Regis. And her whole life, it was such a struggle, and she struggled so hard to be recognised in a male-dominated world. it was a tragic story in some ways, but also it was very interesting. I just loved her, so I'm really pleased that Daryl did Mary Anning.
And it's interesting how he's done it. You know, he's always looked at very media-related stories in his previous books, certainly the science, whereas this is a complete opposite. It's the people who are ignored within the science world, essentially.
Yes, but they were either doing the same thing as the people that then got recognised or got there before, or like they were women. So therefore, obviously, we weren't listened to back then.
If you've read any of his previous books, you know how it works.
Oh, you know what
you know exactly what you're getting yourself for. You are going into a journey of discovery and
knowledge.
And knowledge is a good word to use. Yeah, he's not used any photos in this one. It is all, and he talks about the confidence of his drawing and so forth. And he's sort of hit the peak here, I suppose, where he's all hands drawn. No photographs used or anything like that. And just the amount of work that's gone into it.
Oh, you have to research a lot to be able to find the nuggets of information to make it concise. And
just the amount of pictures he's had to draw for this book is crazy.
But you do,
followed by the knowledge that he's
as I say, you have to go through so much to find the way through all the research material anyway. So all the research that had to go into this is amazing.
He's an amazing man, amazing creator.
Oh yeah,
truly is. He's going to be at the festival.
Yes, I
think you need to, if you go and speak to him, because he's got, like I say, such depth of knowledge and such passion is probably the word for
I actually want to kidnap a lot of these people and keep them for myself.
I'm sure he'd love that.
No, I'm sure they wouldn't.
No.
But there is a few names that jump out that I want to keep these people.
What, and just draw for you in the corner of a room.
I was thinking dungeon.
Me now and again.
It's fine. I was even thinking chained to a wall so they couldn't escape. But I mean, without that sounding far too creepy, it's because I idolise them.
That sounded creepy.
So creepy now.
So maybe I'd go and check his new book out.
Definitely,
and if you haven't, check his other ones out as well.
And then encourage your children to read it.
And then put them in schools.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm raising my fist.
You're kind of doing an empowerment move.
Put them in schools.
They need to be in schools.
Right, and the other one, this other one I'm going to talk about was a bit of a surprise.
Oh, yes.
Now, we've got to say her name. Oh, I'm sure it's very obvious.
Okay.
Myfanwy. She's going to, when we see her at the festival, she's going to tell me off.
She's probably going to slap you.
She probably is. We'll just call her MYF because that's what she initials it herself as.
So you showing me?
That's her name. That's first and surname. Tristan's. Oh. Yeah, exactly.
Because she's
not British. So it's. We'll see her at the festival. She's actually in the room, same as Pete, opposite Pete, in the corner. So the first room you go into when you're going to see Pete.
So we'll just go straight over and apologise then.
We'll get her to say her name so that we're clear on that.
Yes.
Anyway.
Where does that
I'm going to spell it.
From?
MYFANWYTRISTRAM.com is her website. Go and have a look at it.
No, hang on. Show me again. Show me.
I'm glad we planned this.
No.
Sorry.
I expect it's going to sound a lot.
I'm not even going to try and pronounce it. We'll get anyway, we'll put the link to her
please
website.
Put a link up so that we can't just sit there in silence and go, no, I don't know.
The book we're about to talk about is she's printed it and it's going to be available at the festival. Be there? And it's the story of her trip with herself and a friend to the festival last year. A sketch diary is what she calls it, and it was really interesting. So there's herself and a friend who's missing a leg.
Yes.
And it's part about the disability and the journey.
Yes.
Because of that disability and how it's more challenging it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's then about the selling of a new creator or an unknown creator as such compared to other people. And I suppose in particular the work she's doing in comparison to superheroes. And
she's doing the work of my life, which is a middle-aged woman.
Well, she does state about being a middle-aged woman and being ignored in some ways, feeling that way. And then again the journey back, but also about the feeling of being at the festival, seeing creators and so forth. And it's very positive about the festival.
Yes. It's a positive
but also seeing the challenges of her career as this comic artists.
Yeah, we had all the losses and things, wasn't it?
Yeah.
She had a little loss-ometer.
Yeah, didn't make money, didn't have everything that cost money along the way.
And spending money on other comics.
The art is really recognisable. It's probably a good term to use because you see so many bits of Kendal within her art that we pass every day.
Yes, well, yeah, I go over that bridge every day.
Yeah, and it is really, really good. I really, really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I wouldn't mind. Yeah, we'll have to buy a physical copy of it.
Yeah, we'll go and see her on the day. And I apologise about the name. I'm not even going to try.
No, it's probably best you don't.
I'm not going to try because I ruin everyone's name.
Yes,
but no, I really liked it. I think if we can get a few words with her at the festival, we certainly will, just to talk about her work and just the hardship of trying to get into.
But like you say, it's a relatable comic, and I found it resonated with me a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she travelled 350 miles to get here.
Oh.
And she's doing it again.
Bless her.
Right, so we're going to jump in now to our chat we had with Chris, Pete and Mike. And obviously we've got no contributions from them this week because they were here.
They were. Drinking beer.
A bit about what they like comic-wise and stuff. Yep, the beer, which is really nice. Go and taste it. Then when we come back, we're going to just talk a bit more about our plans for the festival. And then we'll be going to the festival.
Oh my gosh.
Look at her
butt. The Brewery Arts Centre, one of the leading art centres in the UK, presenting a year-round programme of exciting, diverse, top-quality events and performances, exhibitions in all art forms, movies, music, theatre, dance, comedy, and some great food and drink, as well as hosting many festival events. The Brewery Arts Centre is the entertainment destination to go to in Kendal. Find out more at breweryarts.co.uk.
Right.
Should it smoke?
Who knows? We'll find out in a second.
Not opened a bottle of beer before.
No, I do it all.
They all do that.
I don't look at it. I expect it just brought to me in a glass with a little umbrella in it.
It's not special like it steams.
No, it was just the way it kept going. Look, it's still going. Oh.
So we have all five of us here. We're going to keep that little bit in there just to amuse Nikki. Obviously myself and Nikki, and then we've got three others. So first we'll say hello to Chris.
Hello.
So you can get the voices in your head. Mike.
Hello.
And live from Wales. Pete.
How do?
That we know Pete because that's how he always starts his segment. How do? So we're here to talk about our plans for the festival, what we're looking forward to, and a little bit more about each of us. But first, we treated everybody to some festival ale. Bar Pete. Pete's, yours is coming.
It on the computer.
Yours is coming. It's brewed by the Bowness Bay Brewing Company.
Yes.
In Kendal.
Yes.
Just to be awkward. There's two variations of it. There's a Rogue Trooper and there's a Blondie. I didn't even check who's designed both the labels, but Chris is going to tell me in a second.
The McGarry is the Blondie one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my one.
And Dave Gibbon has done the Rogue Trooper.
Ooh.
So, what do you think? Are we liking it?
Yeah, I really like it. Nice. It's been nice every year, actually.
It has. What are you drinking over there, Pete?
Suitably, I've got a bottle of Old Peculiar.
Oh.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
We've also got, for a little bit later in the show, Pete has treated us all when he went down to Fort Bubble to the Sputnik Pale Ale, Femme Fatale, which the covers have been designed by Sean Phillips, the great man. So on the second half of this little bit, we're going to enjoy those as well. Not forcing you to drink, but I am.
He don't complain to you.
Shouldn't we have a sip every time someone says the festival or something like that?
Oh, Jesus.
We'll take you to a drinking game.
We haven't got enough. I'm just going to say the lakes from now and then just to cover my back. Not festival. Right, so let's find out a bit more about you guys, first of all. I've all set your homework. I want to know your favourite comic ever and why. So who are we going to start with? Mike, the way he's looking at me, I'm going to jump straight onto Mike.
Yeah, I've kind of already covered it, actually. Some of the podcasts we did.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to have to be issue 3 of Deadline. When I was 15, it was the first issue that had Tank Girl in. And there was loads of other stuff about that particular issue. But the cover, I need to get you a picture of the cover because I know you want to.
We need it for the art, which is already designed and released on this episode.
Of course.
Wow.
I will get you that because I just think it's one of the most it just made it stand out in a comic shop just full of superhero stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a UK-based magazine as well, with all the cutting-edge artists at the time as well. I tried to find it, to bring it here.
Yeah.
But I've come to the conclusion that it's unfortunately double-bagged and cardboarded and stored in the archive, which is the attic.
I thought you were going to say it's lost then.
No.
I
have every single issue of Deadline.
Okay.
And it's all archived though, so I just didn't have time to find it this week.
I'll let you off. Homework failed. We'll see.
Bring it sometime so you can actually read it.
It's very teacherish.
It's kind of hard when you ask that question.
Yeah.
A single comic, and then I suddenly thought, actually, there is only one answer for me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's me.
Pete?
I found it really tough as well. I think it's one of those, I think I have different comics for almost different reasons. So, you might have your favourite run, or I had a favourite when I first started collecting. But I kind of boiled it down to my favourite being the one that I read the most, or the one that I kind of went back to.
Yeah.
And I think for this period, it has to be Hellboy. And in particular, Hellboy was one of the few series that I would buy in comic form, and then I would buy the collected book as well, because you got extra bits at the book. You used to get epilogues or continuations of the story, just kind of little 8-page sort of finish to the story. And the one that I most enjoy when I reread is a 2-issue arc called The Third Wish, which it's an interesting part of the Hellboy storyline because Mignola's found his feet at this point. He's been going for, I think, nearly 10 years. And but he's kind of struggling. He's made leaps with the character, and he's on top of his game in terms of story and art. It's just before he actually gives up art and hands over to Duncan Fegredo. And I don't know why that is. He really struggled with the last 2 stories. But as a reader, I find them so atmospheric. There's loads of silent panels, which just gives the whole story suspense. It takes place largely underwater with mermaids.
I like the sound of this.
Yeah, he gets a nail banged into one of his horns so he can breathe underwater.
Makes sense.
He spends the entire time fighting this monstrous sort of fish witch called the Bog Rouge with mermaids. And Dave Stewart's colouring is just incredible as well. So, Hellboy, The Third Wish, collected in the Strange Places trade paperback. I think I just could read that over and over.
What do you think of the look of the new Hellboy?
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Looks good, doesn't it?
Oh, we just rewatched Stranger Things as well, and each time the show comes on, I just keep thinking, "Oh my God, it's Hellboy! He's perfect without me." Just spray him red.
Not until season 2 as well.
Oh yeah.
Although I do hope to give him the man bun, and because he has long hair on the pictures.
Yeah.
Scene, so I hope it does get sort of that samurai sort of bun comes back in. But yeah, it looks amazing. Can't wait.
Good. Chris, what's yours?
Mine is Spider-Man and Black Cat, The Evil That Men Do, which is Kevin Smith and Terry and Rachel Dodson's 6-part arc. It's very good. The artwork's beautiful. And it's just really a departure from sort of standard sort of Spider-Man Black Cat comics because it's just really dark.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite appalling in parts.
I was going to say, that one is really dark.
Yeah.
There's a really, really dark
really sort of nastiness to it. But it's just just really good the way it's written. Because obviously Kevin Smith wrote it, and apart from this, my favourite comic is Guardian Devil, which is also Kevin Smith. But also, what I like about this is we get a bit of Nightcrawler and a bit of Daredevil. Just a very good 6-part trade paperback. I love it.
I might have to have a look at that. From the front cover, it doesn't look like it's going to be a dark Spider-Man.
Have you not heard of
very,
it's
very horrible in parts.
It looks very innocent.
It's not.
No.
No, that one isn't.
No. It starts off with both Spider-Man and Black Cat looking for a woman who's gone missing. And it quickly sort of spirals from there, involving a character that can teleport heroin into people.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. It gets dark. It gets really dark.
Well, let's light it up from there, Nikki.
I found this really hard.
Well, you're not a reader in the sense of
I had the Beano.
Such, yeah.
The dandy. So
you've gone very modern.
I have. I've gone for Collecting Sticks by JDC, just because it's completely different to any superhero or anything like that. It's just a lovely piece of art and escapism, and I could read it again and again just to escape from the world.
Are you going to take that and get it signed?
I am. So I'm going to make a draw in it.
His artwork's amazing.
Yeah. It is, isn't it? It's just got a stillness to it I like.
That mural he did outside Ruskin's in town was incredible.
Yes.
Which will be taken down before the festival, unfortunately, for a new one. I'm not sure what's going up there, actually.
I have no idea.
No.
We'll find out.
But maybe I can take it with me and we can have it on the wall.
You could try and steal it.
I was going to say.
So you don't announce it on a podcast.
I've scuppered my own plan now.
Mine I've probably talked about before as well, to be honest, on the podcast. It's Judgment on Gotham. Batman and Judge Dredd is absolutely doing. Why are you laughing, Chris?
Because I used to work with it and I've heard about this comic about 4,000 times.
It's amazing. At the time when this came out...
banged on about it.
Sure. Yeah. At the time when this came out, I was reading 2000 AD and also started reading Batman comics. Obviously, everyone knows about Batman anyway at that point, when I was 13, 14. The films
this be your signed one?
This is my signed one. Just a second.
Sorry. Try to look at it.
You come in a second.
You got white gloves.
Well, I was just about to ask, sort of for the collectors out there, would you describe that as near mint?
I describe that as bought from the shop, day one on release, read many times and signed, so I don't care.
Well loved.
So, written by John Wagner and Alan Grant, and the art Simon Bisley, which is amazing. I mean, that's one of the things that jumps out in this comic. And the art is absolutely gorgeous. Visually, it just brings the two worlds together. It really does. The story, which... You can't imagine how the hell would they sit there and create a story from these two dimensions, times, worlds, bring them together, yet they managed to do it quite fluidly. And the whole battle between Batman and Judge Dredd, neither is a winner. It is just a perfect comic, and bringing in Death and the Scarecrow together is amazing. The scene where Death takes some of Scarecrow's juice and sees nothing but teddy bears and light-hearted things. It's a beautiful piece of art in its own right, and if I could get hold of that piece, the original piece of that, I would love it.
Yeah.
So I've not read any of the further sequels to it, actually. I'm scared.
Oh, because you love that so much.
Well, if you want to be truly horrified, I can give you Judge Dredd versus Alien versus Predator.
Mm-hmm. I've heard about that. There's Batman ones as well. There's
some awful mashup, isn't
it? Yeah. At least Dredd would have a chance compared to Batman, who just rips pieces, let's be honest.
They've not been able to repeat the success doing crossovers at all.
It is such a perfect book of the two greatest characters growing up that I had. Absolutely love it. And yeah, it is an original. From day one.
I don't know how you can possibly tell that.
It's a bit of a mess.
Why did you have a question for you about it?
Go on.
Because I know you love Planet Hulk.
Yes.
What made you choose that over Planet Hulk?
Planet Hulk is something I enjoyed later on. Obviously, it came out later. It still doesn't beat that.
Okay.
Nobody beats Batman.
Okay.
Even Hulk.
Fair enough.
Agreed.
Right, Chris. So I've not managed to speak to you. He was just taking a sip there.
Wait till I drunk something. Thanks.
You were meant to start on the podcast as a regular...
is this a dressing down?
But then Chris decided to say, Sod you, I ain't coming back until just before the festival when people listen, and it'll feel quite important.
That's what it was, yeah. I've basically come to save the day.
So you are in charge of the town hall.
I am, yeah.
Tell us what is it about setting that up? What's it like in the process of planning that, getting it organised, and then dealing with it at the weekend?
Right, okay. It starts with application forms that go out to exhibitors. They can apply to get into the town hall. We then sit around, me, Sean Phillips, Carol Tate, Julie Tate, a few others, and we go through everyone's artwork and we decide what's going to make the grade and what's not. What we're looking for is good comic pages. We don't particularly like it when we just get prints or merch.
Comic.
We want to see actual comic art pages. Once we've gone through those, we decide who we're going to have. We have to lay it all out on a plan, making sure that everyone who's asked to be next to everyone gets to be next to everyone, and everyone who asks for power is near the power, because there's like one plug in the town. Once that's happened, we print the final plans, and then come the weekend of it, we have to set out all the tables, cover them all in tablecloths, which is a long and arduous task. The reason we cover them all in tablecloths is to make them all look the same, which a lot of the comic con type events don't do. We like a bit of uniformity, so we do them all in the same colour to make them look more punchy. People are free to cover them in whatever they want when they get here, but the people that don't, obviously build up the same, which is nice. They've got to lay out all the name badges for where everyone's going to be, and then await the artists to arrive.
So what sort of time do they... Is this a Friday?
We will start at 8 a.m. on the Friday. It'll take us about 5 hours to lay out all the tables, tablecloths, name badges, and set everything up. We then need to go shopping, so we need some food. We have to feed these people while they're there. Largely just fruit. We go through a lot of bananas.
Okay.
It's not dissimilar to having a zoo. Go through a lot of bananas, apples, things like that. Lots of tea, lots of coffee, and lots of bottled water. So we get all of that in. And then, we're looking at about 5 hours for the initial setup, and then people will start arriving from sort of like mid to late afternoon. It's then making sure they've got everything they need, getting to the tables, help them unpack if they need that. They get all set up. Pete arrives. Usually, I think he arrived last year Saturday morning?
No, it was Friday night.
Was it Friday? Late.
I didn't set up on the Friday night. No, I
You dropped your stuff off, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's right. You set up Saturday morning, that's what I remember.
Yeah.
So we get people in up until about 10 p.m.
Oh. Right, okay.
We like people to arrive much earlier than that.
Yes.
But we usually there till about 10 o'clock, and then that's when we lock up the town hall and then array the rest of the people in the morning. I think the town hall opens at 10 on the Saturday.
Yeah.
A bit later on the Sunday, but it's a bit of a mad rush getting everything in. Page 45 arrived very late, and they have a lot of stuff to bring in.
Yeah.
But they have to drive about 14
all the way upstairs as well.
Say they're probably the biggest, aren't they?
Yes, they're the biggest thing that comes in with the amount of boxes. They pull up with like a shipping container outside, and then unload it into the Jordan room upstairs. There's a lot of stuff for that. And then Stephen Holland takes ages laying it out exactly as he wants it. Which, it's like watching someone conduct an orchestra. It's amazing.
Well, I bet, yeah.
Getting every book in the exact right place.
I can imagine.
Ready to go. But it's a very long day getting set up. The actual running of the actual place, once it's up and running on the Saturday and the Sundays, isn't too bad. You get to look around quite a lot. I get to sit and chat to Pete.
Well, no, it's in a different place this time.
It's
probably
downstairs on the left.
to chat to.
I can make it work. It's next to Sandbook.
Everton Brothers.
So it's basically making sure people can find what they're looking for. We've got events downstairs as well, so they're ticketed on the door, so we've got those to run. Making sure everyone's got coffee, fruit, anything they need.
So here's a question for you.
Go on.
Bear in mind you've done this now 5 years.
This is the 5th year, yeah.
Why do you do it?
Because Julie asked me to do it.
Everyone says that.
It's a single.
Everyone says that. That is all that gets said. Julie asked me.
Julie asked me nicely, so how can you say no?
You can't say no to Julie.
She asked me nicely. Yeah, it was nicely.
I bet she didn't tell you to do it. It wasn't nice.
No, well, I was there when she came up for the idea of the whole festival. She came in again. Well, me and Amy were obviously working, and then she said, "You know what? I'm thinking of putting on a festival." And then a week later, she'd stolen Brian Talbot's address book and had the address of like every comic artist ever. So she moves fast.
She does, isn't she?
But
we were at a volunteer meeting the other night as well, weren't we? Which Chris was at. It's amazing the amount of people that get involved and do this.
Yeah, we ended up with about 11 volunteers or so in the town hall, and we just kind of split floors between us, and we just make sure that everyone. It's just a case of looking after everyone. That's what I think a lot of the artists in the town hall remember, is that we gave them water and fruit.
Yeah.
Last year, I was talking to somebody. I was at one of the.
Yes, Pete.
I was talking to somebody, and one of the volunteers came over and just sort of like leaned over the stall and just said, "Oh, do you want a tea or a coffee?" And they were absolutely flabbergasted. And then they were telling me that they've never had that anywhere else. They've sort of been allowed to put up a stand or anything.
That's one of the biggest sort of feedback things we get, is that no one else really looks after them to the same level that we do. Which is why I guess people keep going back.
And fighting for those limited spaces.
Yes.
Very limited.
The thing is, I don't even want to guess how many tables are in there. Because it starts off with was looking for about 60, and then Julie says, "Can we find space for these other 300 people, please?" So I don't know what we actually finished on. I don't honestly know what the final count was.
So, Pete, you've just been to Thought Bubble.
Yeah,
and obviously
the first time at Thought Bubble.
You've got this festival.
Was very different. Yeah, that was like Chris was saying. There was absolutely no real sort of contact between you and anybody else, really. Then, once you were in the tent, it was a case you sat behind your table and you didn't really have offers of water or fruit or biscuits. We brought our own cake.
Oh, yeah, your own cake. Yeah,
brought our own cake. Yeah, we were celebrating the SEC's 9th anniversary. The SEC's been together for 9 years, so baked a cake, which we couldn't finish off on the table, so we did move that around the tent and gave as many creators a bit of cake as we could. I think Paul Cornell had a piece, but very different. Yeah, it was massive, absolutely massive.
But that's the main reason for the lack of contact, I think, isn't it? Just it's so big, it would be a mammoth task to get stuff to people.
It would be impossible, and so there were like 4 massive marquees, quite close to each other in the centre. And we were in the Comixology one, which I think was the biggest on the inside. But they mixed, big creators in the same space as small press creators. So everybody was, to see everybody, you just went around each of the different tents.
Yeah, they did blend it well together, actually. I've been on it. It's really well laid out.
So how do you plan for an event like Thought Bubble and like the festival? What do you have to do to get prepared?
The main thing is checking your inventory. So going through your case, looking through, counting up to see if you've got enough stock for your table. So after Thought Bubble, it's making sure that any new mini comics that we've got, any new stock is the right amount for us that we feel that we need for the lakes. And then if you need to restock them, get them sent off to the printers. And that's the main thing really that I'm dealing with at the moment is Thought Bubbles usually after the lakes, isn't it?
It is usually, yeah.
Yeah, they probably followed this
year. So with us going to the lakes now, I've got 2 weeks to make sure that anything gets sent off to print that I need. And any new stuff, that's my priority at the moment, is any of the planned books that I want to get sorted for the lakes, I have to get them off as soon as possible. So since I've come back from Thought Bubble, that's all I've been doing really, is finishing off any projects that you really want to take. It's looking all right. I think I'll do it. But, it's whether you have to pay that express shipping or not.
Yeah, adds to the price, yeah.
Yeah, and it's typical as well that you end up getting perhaps more of your day work in than you want. So I'm having to juggle that as well. But it's largely trying to get things off to print with enough. It happened with the beer mats. I ordered those priority shipping. They were supposed to come for me to take those to Thought Bubble. I paid for the before 10:30, but they didn't process it. So I rang up and they were like, yeah. So I ended up with free delivery, but I really wanted them.
Well, that's it. Yeah. Well, that could have been a lot of sales if it was something you were selling,
I was willing to pay, and they took the money, but I ended up with free delivery instead of when I wanted something. So you are kind of on pins. Even when you've paid for these things, you sometimes have to ring them up and check that you are going to get them if it is time sensitive.
Yeah.
But apart from that, hotel, I booked that before I knew whether I had a table or not, because I enjoyed the festival so much last year. I decided I was going whether I was going as an exhibitor or a visitor. So the hotel was booked. I just had to do the train later on. And apart from that, that's what I mainly have my eye on, is what do I want at my table, how best to display it. I think I've got half a table instead of a full table this year, which is still good because it just means that I'll end up with, I don't know, a more kind of focused, no large prints on my table this year. It'll be focusing on books, mini comics, something that has a smaller footfall on your table. But I'm also thinking of getting some of the kind of tall standy bits that some of the people have, so that you're using the space around you a bit more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's planning, things like that, having to look into it, make sure it's delivered on time, and then fitting it all in a case.
And actually getting it up here, that's a fun bit.
Yeah, which I think is going to make it easier having half a table, to be honest. I've got quite a good idea. We've got a book on the table that we note every sale in, so you can look through and see. I can see what I sold last year. I can see what I sold at Thought Bubble. And you've got quite a good idea then. Each festival's very different, and it's funny what sells in one place and what sells in another. I made sales in Thought Bubble of some of my books that didn't sell as well elsewhere. And I think both Thought Bubble and The Lakes are focused on comics. Yeah. And that's what's so good about them. So you realise that, people just want new and interesting stuff. I mean, I did it myself. You walk past the table and you just can't walk past when you see something really interesting. And you can just stop and have a chat, and everyone's so, friendly and interesting. That's the main thing that you look for, really. Something on your table that is going to make somebody stop.
Cool. So, Mike, being the everyday person on the table, and we've been in the same process. How are you deciding what you're going to do over the weekend? Because there's so much going on, and if you've got a pass, there's so much overlapping.
Exactly. I mean, this is obviously going to be. I've been to all of them bar one so far, so I'm quite practiced at going through the program properly. And with the event of them changing over onto passes, I think it makes everything much more accessible because you've paid for it and everything's there.
It makes it harder, I found, because now you're like,
quite a few
well, I want to do everything.
I know. But I have actually made some notes already, so I actually brought these, and these are what I actually genuinely made the other night when we were planning between us. And it's quite packed, and there is no way I'm actually going to make all this at all. But I have a feeling that Friday night he might be kicking off the same way as Chris, by the way he's fondling the advert there, and that is Mad Max, the Black and Chrome edition.
You're on that way.
Oh, you can sit together.
Obviously, if you've got the 3D Blu-ray, it's on there anyway. I've got it sat at home, but I want to see it in the cinema.
You want to see it on
I think that's
screen,
quite a rare thing. I mean, the Brewery Arts Centre is fantastic for doing odd things like that, and to show the Black and Chrome and Shiny edition, fantastic. There's a few on Saturday. There's, for 2000 AD fans, there's the Meet the Mighty one. I know it's Stephen McManus and Peter Milligan. I'm not quite sure what the title. I didn't actually read that. I just read the name, so I jotted it down. So I've got no idea what it's about. But as soon as it's got people I like, I go straight in on it.
Meet the Mighty one, a celebration of 2000 AD.
Right.
Simple as that.
Yeah, okay, that's going to be a nice, easy trip down memory lane. And there is an interesting one at 12:30, which is More Lost Girls. Has anyone here ever read Lost Girls?
No.
Right.
No.
I haven't either, and it's almost impossible to get hold of, but my understanding is there's going to be a reissue of it. It's an Alan Moore. quite a controversial one.
Okay.
And the session is going to be adults only, by the way, because of the nature of Lost Girls. It's basically Dorothy, Wendy, and Alice.
Mm-hmm. It just picks the sexually explicit adventures of them.
It's Dorothy from Wizard of Oz, Alice from Alice in Wonderland, Wendy from Japan. It's always intrigued me.
Why have I not heard of this?
It's an Alan Moore. Obviously, I love Alan Moore, and it's just something I've never actually read.
Okay.
So I wanted to find out because I think they're gonna reissue it, so it might be an opportunity. I don't know.
It might, so signings immediately.
And then 1:15, it's Mr. Brian Talbot, and it's Granville: The Last Chapter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, every single year I've been at the festival, I have met Mr. Talbot and his lovely wife, and got a load of things signed. And I have a complete set for my partner Alison. So I need the last one, and I need the signing.
Yes.
So that is an absolute must. So we'll both be doing that, and then he's going straight to page 45 after
the signings. Yeah.
So that's going to be pretty busy, I reckon. But yeah,
yes, it will be.
The thing, living sort of in and around Kendal, the thing is, you see Brian quite a lot. So it's not that hard to get things signed.
It's really not. Let's get the book on day one. That's what you're after.
Honestly, if you're popping into town, just make sure you've got it in your backpack or whatever. And there's a good chance
I've never seen him.
Have you not? I seem to see him. And every time you go to a comic convention or anything, we keep seeing Mary, and I'm worried that she thinks that we're stalking her, because we always walk up like we're old friends. And obviously, she saw 2,000 people that day, and I always wave, smile, and start walking towards her before she panics. But I think they are the two people I see most at the festival, so that's quite cool. And then there is the greatest comic cover of all time. Now, this is a kind of a recurring thing at the festival, isn't it? Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, I think there's been certainly something similar, if not necessarily.
Which I've missed. So I quite fancied that. Yeah. Purely because it was something that I hadn't seen. And of course, the other thing I wrote down was 3 till 4. There is the chance to meet Pete Milligan.
Yeah.
To Brewery Arts Centre, screen 2. And Charlie Adlard is at the Factory.
Yes, so if you just want a sneaky pint.
I think a sneaky pint in the afternoon is just what we want. I will be taking some Walking Dead stuff.
It will be busy down there.
Yes. But he's there for quite a few hours, though, isn't he? So.
He is, but there's plenty of hours.
Down there.
We've had to put him in his own building.
Exactly.
Wow.
He was in the town hall previously lived there, and he was just too busy, so...
Charlie's also on the big comic draw, isn't he?
Yes.
Well, there's going to be signings there as well, so if you miss out on him on the Saturday, you can see him on the Sunday.
My mistake, it was the big draw I was talking about.
Oh, the big draw,
the greatest cover. That is actually a discussion on the greatest cover. Sorry, and I just thought that was a chance to really nerd out with people. I thought that was going to be a proper nerd event, that one. And the other thing that's on, which I wish that Pete wasn't going to be stuck on his stool, because there's an Eisner exhibition.
Oh, I've brought somebody with me this year for just this reason.
Right, because the way I see it, guys, is that...
Who is it you're bringing?
Yes.
Yes. I'm bringing my eldest daughter, Daisy.
Child slave labour.
I just thought, if I'm going to go and see a Will Eisner sort of exhibition, why not have Pete show you around?
Well, that's,
Yes.
And the curator whilst we walk. So I reckon we make a date, all of us, for that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I could do the DVD commentary.
Excellent.
I'm sure Daisy won't mind looking after the stall for an hour while we go around the Eisner. I've got to see the Eisner exhibit. That's one of the things I'm most excited about seeing, I think, really.
Excellent. Well, I think we've talked about what we're going to see to death, sort of, and I still don't know how we're fitting it all in, because
we've got to
really
get the
struggling.
Really
struggling. There's too much to see and too much to do, but we'll manage it.
Of course we will.
We will.
Yes.
Right, we're going to take a break. Then we'll come back and we're going to talk a bit more about what we're looking forward to in the festival.
Room for one lawgiver, please.
Judge Dredd. Or is it just Dredd? Fancy seeing you here.
Catwoman, you also here for the Comic Art Festival, or a stint in the ISO cubes?
Of course. I love to see my makers in action. Ah! Watch it, Greenie.
Careful, Hulk. In this town we have a saying. Once is a coincidence, twice is a booking offence.
I think he booked the events on the website.
Huh?
comicartfestival.com. It's got all the perfect information about the event.
Yeah, so's my fist. Druck, I'm out of here. Not standing around with those 4 tortoises that have just entered the building.
Cowabunga, dude!
Find out all about the Lakes International Comic Art Festival and booking information at www.comicartfestival.com.
We are now going to try the treats from Sean and from Pete, obviously. Sean didn't pay for them.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So this is what did it say it was? Pink ale.
It's nice, that.
Yeah, it's nice.
Sweet.
That's a weird hand gesture you do. Like
can you buy these anywhere, or is it just in Leeds, Pete?
It's a weird taste,
I think
isn't
it's
it?
just Leeds,
nice.
Yeah, there's a
It feels like it should
right
be fizzy.
next to OK Comics, and
Yeah.
they were
It is
designed,
fizzy.
I think, for OK Comics' 15-year anniversary.
Ah.
But you can buy the
I think
prints,
there
can't you, like you were saying?
You can buy the prints, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's nice.
To launch on the Saturday night at Thought Bubble, that's where we tried our first attempt at getting the full set was the Saturday night, which after we'd had a few, we realised we hadn't got the full set. So we went back, and I went back on the Monday and got what we needed to get a full set and a full set for you guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cool. You're a star.
It's lovely, I really like it.
No, it feels like it should be a fizzier drink. Like it's got.
I think it's really
No,
fizzy.
there's like a tingle to it. I think it tingles.
You keep doing a hand gesture like you
I
did
know.
in Labyrinth.
Get me some glass balls and I'll show you.
He has got prints of the Femme Fatales available on his Big Cartel store as well.
Along with Magnum PI.
Oh, it's amazing. That's amazing. Every time I say it, I feel it's the best thing ever.
There's a Robert Mitchum as well on there that's to die for. But they look, as a set as well. He had some on the table that he was talking people through as well. It's
You know, if Sean has that available somewhere over the festival, I may have to
Well, yeah.
pick a copy of
The
it.
Magnum part, yeah.
He usually has it with him.
Yeah, I may have to.
Might be tied to his chest, we don't know.
I'd have it tattooed to my chest.
Oh, I'm not sure I could cope with that.
Right, so next question, a bit more about the festival. So we'll go back to Mike first of all. What event are you most looking forward to out of the selection that's available there?
It's got to be Brian Talbot and Glasgow Ramble.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a nice series, and it kind of, it's kind of been a highlight, meeting him and getting all the signed stuff for Alison every year. And we've both kind of enjoyed every event that he's done, actually. Yeah, that's going to be my highlight, I reckon.
Chris, which event are you going to go and see? Because you've got so much spare time.
The one event I will get to see is Mad Max. So that is what I'm most looking forward to, other than talking to Pete, obviously. But yeah, I don't get to say anything. So this is my 5th year, and this will be the...
Well, your Friday night, you've got two choices on a Friday night, to be fair.
Well, I don't usually finish till 10.
You haven't got 2 choices on a Friday night.
So I'm actually ducking out early to go and see Mad Max.
That's fair.
This is the first time I've actually managed to escape any earlier than 10 p.m. on a Friday. So 8:30 I'll be there for the Black and Chrome Mad Max with Matt Sexton.
At the Brewery Centre.
Out of the Brewery Arts Centre.
Yes. Pete, if you get a chance to get away from the table, what are you wanting to see?
Eisner exhibit, definitely. That's my priority. I would, if there was, the ones that have caught my eye, Jason Latour, I think he's doing a talk. If I was able to get away, I would go and see that. I think Michael Cho is doing one as well, which would be great. The cover one, like Mike mentioned, to nerd out at, because as soon as I read it, I instantly started thinking, what would I nominate as my favourite cover? I think, those would be the ones that stood out when I read the guide. But it's going to be difficult, because I love being behind the table as well.
Yeah.
Because last year it was great. You just get chatting to people coming past, and you'll get the kids coming round that have got a sketchbook of the festival, and they're asking you to draw in it. And it's great fun being behind the table as well. So I think I'll try and do a bit of both. Getting over to see Charlie Adlard in the pub and giving a beer mat, maybe. That'll be good.
Well, if you don't, we'll give it a try, or we'll send Mike over that way.
Team challenge, I reckon.
There we go.
Yeah, team challenge.
Yes, everyone will be loaded up with beer mats
Yeah,
this year.
yeah, we'll get those.
I need to get to draw my guitar.
You need to take it with you. Then.
I'm going to take it with me.
Oh, there you go.
I need to go and get him to draw on it then somehow.
Lunch break. Have a lunch break.
Or just give it to one of us.
I do get a lunch break, so I may well spend that getting Charlie to draw on it. So,
Nikki, what are you?
Well, there's so many, but my favourite manga, being a manga nerd, I want to be there. You see?
I know. That was always.
Is that my little secret?
I think Alison might win and I might end up going to that.
Yeah.
Well, that's hosted by the lovely Chris Butcher.
Yes.
Who will be interviewing.
We are.
After this comes out tomorrow, on the Friday, we're going to have a chat with him.
Yes.
Before the festival starts. So, yeah, looking forward to that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Chris is nice. One of his best friends, Jonathan Vallely, is the person that runs the town hall with me over the weekend.
Okay,
really?
Well, that's why they're all linked together.
Yes. Jonathan helps out at TCAF as well.
So we've got to go and grab him for a chat on the Friday. He said a couple of hours. I'm not expecting that long. So, yeah, Chris knows that, he can talk.
It's lovely.
I'm going to cheat a little bit with mine, because mine is just the page 45 room. That, as an event in itself.
That is a cheat, yeah.
It's a cheat. I know it's a cheat, but I've looked at all the events and they're wonderful, but there's just so many people in that room that I want to go and see.
That you want to stalk? Like I was stalking Jonathan Edwards the other day.
No. Yes, you were.
You were stalking Jonathan Edwards?
Just stalking Jonathan Edwards, taking pictures.
I was like on the other side of the street.
While he puts his
Because I thought I saw someone out there.
The
Well, that was me.
very good. It does look all the way past.
It does look very nice.
All the way here tonight. It looks amazing.
So, on page 45, what you got Stephen there. I want to go and meet Stephen now. We know who he is.
Did you not meet him when you interviewed him? You did it over the...
We did it Skype.
Of course you did.
Well, he's sort of like in Nottingham.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He's aces, Stephen.
Yeah.
He's lovely. He's my best friend.
He's my favourite person in that room.
You got Jonathan Edwards and Louise Evans as well there. You got Joe DC, Hannah Berry, Oliver East. You know, it just goes on. Emma. It's just too many people. So that is my cheat. And say... Page 45 as an event, the whole room.
Yeah.
You could spend the whole weekend there almost. It's jam packed. So I like
watching Stephen sell comic books. It's amazing. And I've never seen anyone do it quite as well as he does it. It's incredible.
Well, we'll test him out.
It is an art form. The way he does it. You'll come home with so much stuff.
we do every year.
This is why I don't walk in that room with money in my hand.
Obviously, you got Sean and Brian will be up there as well. So so that's my cheat. Page 45 room. Simple as. If we was to choose an event, it'd be
the big draw.
No.
The
one I'm really intrigued in, and I want to call the name properly.
Spider Gwen.
No, as much as I love Spider Gwen, the Lies one. And now this is going to dead air as I search through the guide to find what it's actually called.
Some filler.
Yes, start
Pete,
singing.
Telling the truth.
Hey?
What the hell's that?
Where's that one?
Telling the truth. With Hannah Berry, Daryl Cunningham and Fumia Obata.
Of course.
That's going to be a good one, actually.
I think that'll be a really interesting...
I didn't know that was what the event was called.
Yeah, a really interesting event. And something very different to everything else that's going on. So, we'll look at an actual event. It's going to be that one.
I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to, actually. I'm not going to get to go to it. The Moomins. Not just because they're in the shopping centre, when I run the shopping centre, but the Moomin thing does sound amazing.
I was going to mention there is some quite freaky stuff on the fringes, isn't there? Is it the Nordic archipelago?
That's the
Jonathan Edwards exhibit.
That's incredible. Just found the corner from us.
I kind of, I was following her on Twitter to see some of the stuff she does, and it is quite mad, actually.
It's very big, that one that's walking.
Statues.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It's a lot of felt.
So, out of all the people that are coming, Mike, which creator are you most looking forward to meeting?
creator.
Yeah. That's a tough one, isn't it?
Let's go with the first name that came to my head, actually.
I think it's going to be Charlie Adler, but I can see that just being so packed. It might not happen. That's my worry. Sorry, he's an artist. Sorry, not a creator.
Well, that's what I mean. By creator, I mean it's even artist or writer or whatever.
I was just right. You know,
he'll stay there until he goes through everyone.
I'm getting. They normally do, don't they? All of them.
Yeah.
Charlie's exceptionally good at it. To be honest, I've never seen anyone sort of walk away from a crowd ever. I think it's going to be Charlie Adler. And to get some signed Walking Dead would be really cool. Pete, I'll have to think bigger now he's mentioned a guitar.
If you get the chance, which creator would you like to meet?
Guitar's amazing.
I think I already mentioned them because they were doing talks as well, but probably Jason Latour and Michael Cho.
Yeah.
Jason Latour does the Image comic Southern Bastards, and the page that he did in the Spirit magazine. I just loved it. I think that was my favourite page out of the whole magazine. So to get him to sign that page on the Spirit newspaper would be cool. He was at Thought Bubble, but the problem with being behind a table is you can't join a queue. That's part of the problem. Yeah. So you're very limited in how much time you can get away from your table. So I would go and I would walk past, and I saw lots of creators. I had a little chat with Becky Cloonan that did the cover. But I couldn't get to speak to Jason Latour. His queue was too long.
So is he going to be in the town hall at all, Chris? Do you know?
Honestly, off the top of my head, I've got no idea.
No, not sure. No.
There's so much going on, I can't remember everyone that's there.
Useless. What's the point of having you here?
I know, sorry.
Supposed to be saving the day, wasn't it?
This is how I've saved it, by not knowing anything.
Well, I think you sort of said yours. Is it Charlie for you as well, Chris? Would you want to get your guitar signed?
I do want to get my guitar signed, but I've already met everyone. That's the only drawback from being here for like my 5th year. I've met everyone now. So I'm looking forward to getting my guitar signed, or drawn on, if I can. So he's going to be my main target. He wasn't in the town hall much last year, so I missed out. But my guitar's been well doodled on.
You're just trying to get that price up even further, aren't you? Let's be honest.
One day I will sell it and I will retire.
Nikki, what about you?
Oh, Hannah Berry.
Yeah.
I love Hannah Berry.
Yeah, it's just lovely. That interview was the interview was really fun, wasn't it? I really liked her. And JDC.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and Jonathan Edwards.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Mainly because I've been stalking all of them, really. Yeah. And Emma Bocelli.
Seriously?
Because I love her art.
I'm trying to make different people here, and you're just choosing anybody that I would consider.
Daryl Cunningham. Yeah, those ones, please.
I give up.
Who do you want to see, Ian?
I think I'm gonna copy that. I think I'd like to meet Charlie, just because we had a really lovely chat when we first. I think it'd be nice to meet him.
Yes.
Obviously, that's sort of the challenging one because of time. It's not an issue going and meeting all the ones you said. I'm looking forward to meet every single one of those names in page 45. I'm really excited to. But I think Charlie, for me, could be the challenge to try and get over there and meet him. Mm-hmm. And what I will do is wear my sexy T-shirt and fight through the crowds. Charlie! Charlie, I'm here!
Charlie!
Or I could be original and pretend to be a zombie.
Oh.
Because he'd love me for that.
I'm sure he loves that.
Yeah, I'm sure it's never been done before.
Never gets old.
Original me. So, yeah. I think, again, I'm going to cheat with the whole page 45 room, but Charlie as the second one. You just basically did the same thing.
No, I didn't.
You bloody did.
Put a camp bed in there.
Yeah.
Well, if there wasn't all the events to come and see, I probably would do.
It's not enough room, too many books.
That's true. There's tables. I can sleep under.
That's true. Sleep under a table.
Sleep under a table. That's fine. Right. So at the weekend we've got the beer mats. So Pete, give us a quick run over again of the beer mats, just so people can understand again.
I thought for a festival that had its own beer in a town that was so full of pubs, that hosted so many comic artists over the weekend, that you should have a beer mat that artists can draw on while drinking. And you very kindly mentioned that to Julie, and Julie thought it was a good idea, and so I got some made. And the idea behind it is that there's a character called the Beer Shaman, and he is a magical figure who encourages people to imbibe beer, the magical elixir, and this will spark their creativity and enter the spirit. You will the spirits and visions conjured up will be transferred to the beer mat and shared online with #BeerShaman. So it's basically about drinking and drawing.
Excellent.
Interesting.
Drinking and drawing.
I have a question for you, Pete. Are you secretly alcoholic and you come up with this as a way to carry on drinking?
I don't think it's that secretive, to be honest.
So there's definitely going to be some of these in the Ruskins bar where all the events are happening on the Saturday night and a bit of the Friday night as well. Hopefully, maybe in the brewery. We've not discussed that yet with them, but we'll go down and have a little chat, I'm sure. You'll have some on your table.
Yep.
I'm assuming. I think we should all grab some as well, and we'll get as many done as we can with something else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But are we also hoping that some amateurs have a go as well?
I think so. It's everybody. The festival.
Get anybody. If you want to draw anything on one of these mats, find them, come and ask for one, whatever.
Yeah, completely. I mean, you get people coming to the table, asking if you'll have a look through their portfolio or look at their sketchbook. And, it's great. Everybody's got a different style. Everybody can bring something new. And the fact that you'll end up, hopefully, with a hashtag that will show the breadth of the festival with visitors, amateurs, and professionals, I think it'll be great. Mm. And, hopefully, I think at the end of it, if you follow @ComicArtFestPod as well as the hashtag, then if there's any favourites amongst the beer mats, then I think any spare sort of books and other merch that we've collected along the way, we're going to award a few people, I think, that's in the stream, aren't we?
It's giving away the books here. Yes, no, we are. I'm joking.
There's a very tatty copy of Judge Dredd vs. Batman.
That's bloody going nowhere. Bloody going nowhere.
Signed.
I'll have plenty of my own books left after that.
No, there's plenty here to go around. So that's super. So go and see Pete. Now, Pete is going to be, if you walk into the town hall, he's going to be first room on the left.
The bind loss room.
It's essentially going to be the first room everyone goes in.
Yeah,
if you go by a certain
natural kind of route. You go in through the bottom, first through the doors, left, through the room, out through the door, through the room opposite, out the door, back up the stairs, or up the stairs, round, back down.
Yeah.
He's one of the first people you will see.
So, next to the Everington Brothers and Cine Book.
Yeah.
So, easy. And then we'll come and have a chat with the Everington Brothers so you can join in on that little interview as well.
No, you chat. I went to say hello to them in Thought Bubble to say that I was next to them and just to introduce myself. And they're such enthusiastic guys. I mentioned the beer mat, so no, I'm looking forward to being next to them. They're amazing.
Excellent. So we're going to be walking around, as we've said, with a couple of books in our bag.
Yes.
And if people come up and say, listen, freebies could be theirs.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Wow. That's nice.
We're going to try to find light ones.
We've
got to carry them.
I'll get myself some books.
Freebies to people who we do not know could be theirs.
Just to be clear, though, because I'll have a Comic Art Fest podcast T-shirt on as well, and I'll have a rucksack. And if anyone approaches me and asks for books from my bag, they get told to bugger off. Okay? So they do have to pick the right guy with a beard, okay?
Mike will have beer mats, however, so they can have one of them.
Oh, yes, that's true.
There you go. There you go. And Chris, you're going to be in a town hall.
I'll be in a town hall all weekend, all day.
So if you see a depressed-looking, bearded male who's fed up of being there and wants to go and look at events, say hello to him.
Stroking his guitar.
I'm always happy when I'm at work.
You never work when you worked with
Not for
me.
my normal job, for the festival.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, everybody. Looking forward to the weekend immensely. And if you want to find us all, hopefully, we'll get together on the Saturday night.
Yeah.
If Chris is free, that is.
On Saturday night?
Yeah.
Saturday night's my one opportunity to sleep, but I will come.
Anyway, we'll be having a drink in Ruskin's.
Yeah.
A little boogie, more than likely.
I'm not coming to that now. I've changed my mind.
You love mad dancing.
It's more Nikki's dancing I'm worried about.
But I can really twerk.
I'm leaving the country.
Come and have a drink with us. That's all I'm going to say. And we'll hear all about it after the festival in your segments. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, then, bye.
Sorry.
Where can you find all the latest comics? At a comic shop, of course. But where can you find quality recommendations of comics? Where can you find informative blogs? Where can you find previews of up-and-coming comics? Where can you find information and resources on the comic industry? Where can you find a well-priced, well-stocked shop? Where can you find amazing customer service with knowledgeable staff? Page 45, of course. Find us at www.page45.com or visit us at our Nottingham shop. Page 45, more than just a comic shop.
So we hope you enjoy that chat. Now, Nikki's managed to...
I told you it was
get the
Welsh.
pronunciation.
I told you. Myfanwy.
Tristram.
Yeah.
So go and have a search for her book that we're talking about, ladies.
Yes. But don't ask Google to translate it
No.
because the voice is awful.
So, I've got a few thank yous, or we've got a few thank yous to say, first of all. Because we're sort of getting up to the festival point.
Yes.
And then I suppose you could look at it as seasons between each festival's this podcast in a way.
The end of season 1.
I think we need to thank you just for the opportunity to do this. Obviously, Julie Tate's the first big one because she's our contact. Well, the director of the festival, but also our contact to the festival as a whole. And when we put it forward to give us a shot at this, and she has done.
Yes.
And it's been great fun. So thank you, Julie.
Yes, thank you.
And the team behind her as well. But mainly it's Julie that's given us this shot.
Yeah.
All the guests that have come on. You know, we've had some named guests.
They've been lovely. Everyone has been lovely.
They have. No,
hence why I want to keep them in a cellar.
Even when we've had to sort of rearrange times and stuff, nobody's been paying about it. They've all been very lovely.
If you don't press the actual record button on John Freeman.
Thank you for John Freeman as well, actually. Good point bringing him up for all the publicity he's been doing for the podcast. Linking us on his Facebook page, on his website, as well as on the festival website that he does work for. So that's just amazing. Obviously, Mike and Pete.
Oh,
thank you guys for all the work they do. Because I mean, we come on, we ramble, do interviews, but it probably takes them just as long to put together what they're doing because they can't just come and chat.
No, that's true. Yeah.
So thank you to them. All the publishers that have just supported us, and we're advertising for them essentially. But
they still don't have to.
We couldn't afford
to
do this, and the majority of the books we get have been sent to us free of charge.
Yeah.
The odd one we do buy, but majority is free of charge. And we couldn't do it properly without
them. Yeah.
And then just thank you to anyone who listens. I apologise for making you listen.
I was wondering what you're apologising for then. It's like, you apologise. Oh, they love us.
I'm sure I've missed somebody. Chris as well, obviously.
I was going to say, you missed Chris, but that's fine.
Yeah, well, that's Chris,
fine,
isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's been a journey. Interesting. We enjoyed it. Obviously, we know here we're not disappearing. We're not going anywhere.
No, they're lumbered with us now, aren't
we've
they?
got a long way to go.
We're like a wart.
So, the festival, where are we going to be?
Everywhere.
So, we've got events planned. I think we've only got about 3 on the Saturday and possibly 3 on the Sunday we're going to actually go to.
Yeah.
If you're around the Friday, you'll see us milling about. We've got some interviews to do.
Milling about.
We've got Chris Butcher.
Yes.
We're going to chat to from the Toronto Festival. And then we've also got Pop Culture Hound.
Yep.
Going to chat to Chris there. I've forgotten his surname.
Well done.
We're going to chat to Chris about Titan Comics and their new offshoot of that, which they're looking at more foreign comics and so forth.
Yep.
And obviously his work within the comic world as well, because he does a heck of a lot.
He does.
With Titan Comics.
Yep.
They're the only 2 interviews we got lined up initially, but we'll be chatting to people throughout the day. So if you're at the festival, You want to come and say hi?
Oh, please say hi. You know, just leap out, mate. I do scream if leapt upon.
Free comics.
So that's fine.
We
have got some free comics.
For the first 3 or 4 people that come and say hi,
you
have a free comic. Also, creators out there will be coming and chatting to you. We'll want some little few minutes.
Like threatening.
Few minutes
We're
segments.
coming for you.
Yeah, so be prepared to talk about yourself and get yourself out there.
Absolutely.
We're also considering having guest contributors.
We are.
So if you're interested, we've got a couple already interested. Just one-offs, nothing permanent. I mean, you could do it once every 6 months, fine, but nothing. Fine. We've got our permanent guys. We don't need more permanents. They're doing great jobs, but just something to give them a break now and again.
Yes, because they will have to go on holiday occasionally.
Yeah. So we want people who can talk about the comics industry in any way, shape, or form, whether it's a love of comics, creating, selling, publishing, or
their own personal experience of the whole journey. Yeah,
we just want different people to talk, just to add a bit of flavour to the podcast, something a bit different. And get you involved. Yeah. I don't care if you're promoting your own work. As long as you've got a little story to tell about it, promote as much as you want. So anyone who's interested in that, come and talk to us. We'll take your details and we'll be in contact over the next 6 months or so. We're not going to rush it, but yeah. And then after the festival...
Yes, we don't go away.
We've got the interviews, which we'll be doing. We've got more interviews planned. We've got Tilly Walden coming on at some point. We'll have some recordings from the panels. Yes. So they'll be on there. And then whatever books we collect over the weekend. We've got lots of reviews. We've got
I'm
a stack
broke,
of
by the way.
Self-Made Hero Sherlock Holmes books to review.
We've got those.
We've got the European books to review. We've got so much to review. We've got more coming. It's ridiculous.
We've just had those story ones.
Again, Self-Made Hero.
Yeah.
They love us. We love them.
We love them.
And and now we're just looking forward to this weekend.
Yes.
So Saturday night we'll definitely be out having some drinkies.
Oh God.
At the Brewery Arts, then off to
the
Ruskin's
Big Draw
Bar. Saturday night.
Oh, Saturday night. Sorry, Friday night's the Big Draw, isn't it?
Friday night's the Big Draw. We'll be there as well.
Yes.
At the Ruskin's Bar. Come and say hello.
Yes.
Buy us a drink.
I was waiting for that bit.
Buy us a drink. And see me possibly dance to Star Wars music.
I will be dancing to anything because I don't need an excuse.
And when Pop Noir play our theme music...
we will be there.
We will be there.
We will be there. Shaking our booties.
Like Shaking Stevens.
Wow. Now you're just showing how old we are.
I don't even know any of his music.
No.
No.
Wasn't there This Old House.
I'm not old enough.
That one.
Okay.
Don't you remember it?
No.
Oh, liar.
Not old enough. Right, thank you very much, and we will see you at the festival. Please come and say hi, everybody who's listening. And I apologise for us throwing leaflets in everybody's faces.
There's a lot of paper cuts could happen.
Yes. Enjoy. We'll be back after the festival, which will be on the 1st of November, with a filled episode of festival goodness.
Be like it's never ended.
We'll make it last a full year.
We could make it.
We could.
Yeah.
We're not going to.
Yeah,
no. Right, thank you very much. See you next time.
Bye.
See you at the festival.
Oh, yes. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Find out more about the festival at comicartfestival.com. Find out more about the show and how to contact us at comicartpodcast.uk. Find us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. Music composed by Pop Noir.
This podcast is part of Britpod Scene, an independent network of uniquely British podcasts that's always growing. Check out BritpodScene.com or Britpod Scene on Twitter to find out more.